Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, when you're collecting currency, a lot of people like to collect the different types, which is very cool. I love trying to get one of every type of note. But the problem becomes, what denomination should you collect? Well, the easy version is, well, collect the $1 bill. It's the cheapest. Well, it's also one of the more common versions that you're going to find out there. Which means if you pick a denomination that isn't as popular, it will be more rare, less available, more rare, less available. Yeah, that's it. And rare, that's one of the things that makes a note worth money. For instance, a $100 bill is as big as you can get. So if you want $10,000, your only option is to get a bunch of $100 bills. But when you go and spend a $100 bill, you're probably not going to get a $50 bill in return. Most people tend to give 20s as change, which means a $50 bill doesn't circulate very much. Now, the BEP knows this, so when it comes time to print money, they don't print as many $50 bills as they do $100 bills. Another rare denomination would be the $10 bill. If you have a 20 and you spend it, odds are you're spending it on something that costs more than $10. Which means when you get change, you're going to get a bunch of singles back because you're not getting you're not getting more than $10 in change. And even if you were, you'd only be getting one $10 bill. So $10 bills don't spend very much either. So those are two denominations that if you're looking to get that may increase in value or hold their value a little better, the 10 and the 50, since they are so underused, are great places to start. All right, there's my 1,000 singles. Let's get them out of the way and take a peek at what I found this week. We have a trinary, zeros, threes, and eights. Trinaries are not worth anything. I save them to pair numbers. That's it. I don't sell my trinaries for profit. I sell them to people who also like to do what I do. So, zeros, threes, and eights, zeros, ones, and fives, threes, sixes, and nines, threes, sevens, and eights. This one's quads. Quad ones, same thing as the trinaries. Quads are actually more rare than trinaries. They're harder to find. This one's got writing on it, so probably not going to keep, but if I can pair it, great. This one's quad fives with a fifth for whatever that's worth, and some stars. 2017 A star, always checking to see if they're filled. 2017 A, 2017, good shape. 2017, 2017, 2017, another 2017. Found a lot of them this week. 2017, 2017, 2013, another 2013, and this is older notes, 2003A. I save anything that's 20 years or old or older because you just don't see very many. Remember, this is out of 1,000 notes. That one's pretty rough. 2003A, much better shape. 2003A with writing on it, so that's going to go back. 2003A, another one. That one's nice and bright, probably a keeper. 2003, pretty rough shape. Looks like it's been, that's a rag. That's going back. 2001, note that you don't see too often. Gotta love the color on this one. 2001, looks like that was dipped in oil and it's got a hole in it. 1999, another 99. 1995, checking to see if it's a web note. It is not. Here's a real easy tell. Here's the location on the sheet that this note was printed, H1. On a web note, there is no position. So if you don't have a position there, it's a web note. Another 1995 and 95. And the oldest note I found was 1993. Not a whole lot of these out there. These are pretty tough to find. All right, so what did I pull out this week? Going along the lines of denominations that are tough to find. Check this out. This is a series of 1928 $50 Federal Reserve note. 1928 is the first year that we went to the small size currency. There's the 28, 28A, 28B. This is the 28. So this is the very first printing of these notes. It's a rare denomination, the 50. Like I said, if you have a $100 bill, you usually don't break it for two 50s. You break it for a bunch of 20s because 20s are more spendable than 50s. Well, if that's true in 2024, imagine how spendable a 50 was in 1928. Okay, so no, there were not a lot of these circulating. Now, we're going to take it a step further because it's also a star note. Look at that gigantic solid star. Look at the serial number 00003153. Not a low number, of course, because for to be considered a fancy serial number, a low digit, you want to have 5 zeros. But this is a star note, okay? Star notes were printed first. They had to have the star notes available so that when they did the regular print run, they could pull out the errors and insert star notes. So the star notes had to be printed first. So this is one of the first $50 bills ever printed of this size because it's a star. And there's the number 3,153. So you want to talk about a cool note? Now, I didn't mention the reserve, the district number here. In 1928, instead of putting a letter for the district, they put the actual digits here. So this one's 12. That's San Francisco. They do use the L as part of the serial number. But yeah, you were talking about note number 3,153 that was printed. This quite literally is the 3,153rd note ever printed for San Francisco in the small size denomination for 50s. That's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. Right there, series of 1928. Now this note is not mint. It's not perfect. It's circulated. There's the back. Got a little bit of schmutz here on the back. But yeah, it is most certainly a circulated note. But overall, you can see everything on this note. It's, you can see that there's Grant on there. You can read everything on here. It's not missing any portion of the note. It's a little dirty, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, I stressed to you the rarity of this note. And think about that. What is this note really worth? Any idea? I mean, I thought this note might be worth probably a couple $100. That was my thought process when I first saw this note, and then I went digging a little bit, and well, don't take my word for it. Let's take a look at the book. And before you ask, because you will, Paper Money of the United States. That's the book. If you don't have this book, buy this book. Paper Money of the United States. All right, so that's the book. Let's see if I can do this correctly here. $50 notes, all issues with the bust of Ulysses S. Grant. Series of 1928. Look at that. There it is. $50 bill with the 12. This one does not have a star, but we are certainly in the right sequence here. So let's look. San Francisco Star in VF20. Can you see that? A San Francisco Star from 1928 is $1,250 in a VF20. Choice uncirculated, you're talking $6,000, but $1,250 in a grade 20. Let's look at this one again. Is that a 20? Maybe. It very well could be. I could not believe that I scored this note for $300. The book on it is $1,200. When I was putting together the list, I'm making a list of my most expensive notes. I did not expect to be adding to the most expensive notes that I own when I purchased this note. Or when I purchased it, yes. When I first saw this note, I didn't expect it to be in the most expensive notes that I own. But yeah, that's how much these stars go for. Oh yeah, and that book was printed a year or two ago before they stopped printing star notes. So not only is this just a ridiculously rare star note, a ridiculously cool star note, but the fact that it's a star note and they don't print stars anymore, that just boosted the demand on this. So yeah, quite proud of this $50 bill. Beautiful star on there, decent condition on the note, and boy, what a value. All right, guys, if you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.